Behind you. Yeah. Yeah, this is the Seton Rivals podcast where each and every week during football season, we break it down. We break it down really good. And there's three people who I would always break it down with, always. That's Chili. That's Ralph Amsden, who can't be with us today. But hey, we've been going for 12 years strong. I mean, that is a long time. Nobody knows Chandler sports the way we do. And Chili, the first thing I'll say, happy holidays, man. Happy Thanksgiving. I know we're not going to do our normal exchange because the lady Q and I, we're going to take it easy this year. But hey, you and I go way back.
No, for sure, man. And it's been cool, man. I've been super blessed to be able to be surrounded by the good people and people that love supporting the kids, regardless of whatever's going on in the world. So it's been cool, man. Brett, I see you over here caped up, and my man back there ready to hook you up with a Caesar. What's he gonna do over there?
I don't know. We're going to figure it out. This here is Andre Pena. He is the owner of Mission Barbers. And Chili, you and I were talking about how busy he is. 6 barbers. They're booked 2 weeks out. I got 2 guys in front of me. We're going to bring them on very shortly. But it's just a really good time. I wanted to take the show on the road. First, we're going to talk a little bit about these ACP nights. And first off, Frandy, you've been to a bunch of ACP games. You got to love what you're seeing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The games are exciting, both defense, offense, and defense. Just seeing the crowd over there, how into it that they are, and passionate about the game and their school. It's good to see all the support.
As the headline says, Knights keep dominating 35-14. This time their latest victim, the Arcadia Titans. We see it game in, game out, consistency. Evan Heinrich, who we'll hear from a little bit later on, 3 touchdowns. Look at his numbers, 29 TDs, 1 interception. He had 2 to a senior, Cash Lambert. He's getting it done. Max Sasso broke off for 146. Chili, before we bring in player 1 and 2, your thoughts on the Knights, because something I agree with it. You said they're playing the best football right now of any team in Arizona, regardless of level.
I've been saying that for like almost like a month now, like a little bit
Yeah.
over a month now. What they've been doing out there on the field, absolutely incredible. I love what Coach Vaught has brought in to ACP, his own brand. He came and flipped that whole thing up. Listen, I love what Coach Bluford did in building the foundation of that program, getting it started, getting them on the move and things like that. But Vaught has been absolutely amazing in his time there, and they are playing. I really believe this. Any level, they are playing the best football in the state of Arizona right now. Coach Ortiz, the offensive coordinator, really dialing things up for Evan. And then, obviously defensively, the DC Bars that you talked to last week. Listen, I don't want to start any rumors or anything, but it's like he knows the other team's playbook already. It's like he knows what plays they're calling. Every player, Cam Mitchell, Andres, whoever it is, always in the right spot, and you got to love that about this ACP team. Brett, I see you. Are you gonna trust him with the Clippers?
No, I'm not. No, I'm about to get out of this chair, and I'm gonna have you talk with Andre Pena first, and then you'll get to chop it up with Evan. So yeah, this is the. I'm gonna say this is the coveted seat. So yeah, let me get up, and we're gonna have Andre jump in.
How you doing, Chili?
And I don't think I'll ever
going on,
put
man?
the cape on. Maybe I'll.
No.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I don't want to break it.
Hey, Andre, talk to me. This defense absolutely crazy. I already talked about it a little bit. Coach Bart's everything that he's done over there. What's it been like, you and Cam? Like, when did things start to change? When did you realize, like, hey, we're really like that, and we're gonna show the rest of the state?
Yeah, well, last year, great defense. Cam Mitchell, Gibson last year. I wasn't there yet. I transferred from Basha, but coming here from that defense, we knew it was good. But over summer, when we started playing those big teams in sevens, and just dominating in how well we did, and we weren't sure with the D-line how that was going to do. But then we had players like Tice Turner stepping up, Blake Barrington, big names. But yeah, just from the start, spring ball, we knew that we had something special.
Hey, and it's absolutely crazy because they say the toughest thing to do is beat a team twice. I'm pretty sure you agree with that.
Yeah.
But you guys have absolutely no problem remixing these victories. Estrella Foothills, Arcadia. What was it like going into those games the second time around?
Yeah. With Arcadia, with like there's only one game in between those two, we knew what we had to do from mistakes in the previous game, and we knew what they were going to come out with watching film and what they did. So just building on the game plan we already had and switching things up in case they came out with anything new for us.
Hey, so what you getting worked on over here? I see you're about to get a cut. You're used to handing those fades out on the field. What are you getting a fade up here today?
No, we're just doing a quick little edge up and stuff. Just clean them up.
Clean up for
This way there isn't
Thanksgiving.
too much background noise with the Clippers.
Okay. I'm not. Hey, I appreciate that. Hey, speaking of Thanksgiving, I'm always curious. A lot of you guys loading up, but you still have to play a game within the next 24, 48 hours. So one, how heavy is your plate on Thanksgiving? Two, what is the first thing that you're grabbing to put on your plate?
How heavy? I don't know. This
Yeah.
year, especially with a game the next day, I might make myself 3 plates and save it in the fridge for after Friday. I don't want to be too heavy for the game. But yeah, definitely keeping my own leftovers for myself.
Love
First
it.
thing, probably my dad makes a pretty good Cajun turkey. It's definitely gonna be there. Yeah, or some sweet yams. Definitely gonna be on the plate first.
Sweet yams, my
Yeah.
guy. Hey, but you can't listen. Thanksgiving, it's all about the turkey. It's all about the stuffing, the casseroles, the variety of casseroles.
Yeah.
But what about the dessert? Is it pie for you? And what type of pie, or what are you getting?
Yeah, usually apple pie. If it's warm, put a
Okay.
little ice cream on it. It's
Love it.
definitely my go-to.
Okay. And any Thanksgiving traditions? Look, you guys got a big game, obviously on Friday, so there's no turkey bowl for you on
Yeah.
Thanksgiving this year. But any Thanksgiving traditions that you really look forward to besides practice
Usually,
now?
yeah. Besides the turkey bowl, just usually turkey bowl. Watch a lot of family coming. We're hosting this year, so
Okay.
usually just watching the NFL games.
Hey, is it who on your team would you trust to put your plate together blind? Like if I told you, hey, Andre, somebody on your teammate, pick one of your teammates to put your plate together blind. Who would you trust to put it together properly the way that you would want it?
On the team,
Yeah, which one of your teammates do you trust enough to give you the right amount of turkey, the right amount of potatoes, the right amount, the right slice of pie, the right amount of stuffing?
probably our big guy, old lineman Ronan Solomon.
Okay.
I'll trust him with my plate.
Okay. Hey, and then also I got to know the mentality that you guys have. Like it's you guys are ready at all times, all phases
Yeah.
of the game, special teams, defense, offense, always ready to go. The practices, what have the practices been like this year for you?
A little
Who are you
faster.
competing with?
Yeah, lots. We've been doing a lot of competition. We both believe that we're the best defense in the state. We're the best offense. So facing each other really helps each other prepare. And so just in that, and then when it comes to special teams, same thing. Great special teams on both sides of the ball. So just going at it, and then we'll have deload days. But facing each other in competition has really helped a lot.
Transferred, you had to sit a couple, right?
Yeah, I sit 5
you had to
games.
sit a
Yeah.
couple. So when you were watching at the beginning, what were some of the things that you were seeing? Did you know right away, like as soon as I'm in, we're gonna be really, really different? Like what did you see those first few games that you sat?
First 2 games we sat, I was excited. We were like just ready to get into those games. I knew we were gonna have something good this year. Just me helping on defense and special teams. I knew it was gonna be big.
Hey, what's your favorite part about special teams? I always tell kids, like, look, if you got that good special teams film, make sure that you put it somewhere at the front because those tackles are big. They could be game changing because we're talking about, where the offense is going to start out on the field possibly. So, what are some of your favorite things about being on special teams while playing defense?
Just being able to help the team. I really think special teams is a really important part of the game. So being able to help that team in another way besides defense. This year, I've been on every special team, but probably pump block has been my favorite. Against Arcadium, I was able to pump block and recover for a touchdown. So that was probably my highlight of the year. It was great, but just being able to, especially in like kickoff, being able to run down the field, hit somebody, it's great.
Man, I love it. You know, who's somebody that you went against this year that you're like, man, that kid was good. Who's one of the opponents that you played that you're like, man, that kid was really a baller. He really brought the best out of me.
Probably Arcadia's person who was on me both game 1 against Arcadia and game 2. Just when we faced each other, it was a battle every time on the fields.
All right, man. Hey, I'm gonna let you finish up this cut, man. Looks like my guy's going to work. Where's my man Evan at?
Evan's right here.
What's up, Joey?
Evan, you getting cut up too?
Yeah, we're buzzing his head.
I'm after Andre. Yeah.
You're not getting a buzz. Listen, quarterbacks always have to have that good cabbage.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're about to switch seats now, Chili.
Are they about to switch seats right now? Okay. All right, I'm gonna let you get comfortable. Brett, you can hear me?
I can hear you, my man. Yep.
Man, hey,
I'm
these
filming
boys,
and doing all that stuff. Yep.
man, my man working, Brett working over here. Usually, hey, this is the truth. This is the thing about teammates. Like, usually, I'm always the one doing the extra work for Brett. So I got to show some love to Brett now for doing this extra work, putting this whole thing together, because I think that this is really cool. Hey, because Brett usually does all the interviews like after the football games on Friday, like sometimes Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whatever. Like he'll go grab the interview, and then I got to do all the cutting up and putting it together so that it can play nice on the screen and stuff. But my man over here holding cameras and doing the extra.
Yeah, he's doing good.
Hey, usually I'm the offensive lineman for him. He's the quarterback, but this week I get to be the quarterback and he gets to be the offensive line. So at some point, you're gonna have to do some of the blocking too. Heavy blocking.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Hey, I know you're not afraid to do that if you got to spring a run for one of your running backs or whatever. But Ev, talk to me about this season, man. Like at what point did you realize that this was special? That like I know you guys took that bad loss to start the year, but at what point did you realize like, hey, man, we really got something special over here. Let's turn this thing up.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a phenomenal season. Starting with Crown Point, I think that really just got us ready for the whole season coming. We worked hard all season. We've been practicing. I mean, I've been knowing that we've been a contender since spring ball because of how we practice and compete against each other. And it's just really special to see how far we've come since spring ball too.
Got a whole bunch of weapons on offense. You got a ton of receivers that can do their thing. Obviously, Ashton Sanchez, who I talked to numerous times. What's it like for you seeing Poole and Sanchez and all these guys that can go?
Yeah, I mean, it's been awesome. I mean, obviously, it takes all 11 guys to go get it done. The offensive line has been doing a great job. I mean, like 0 sacks for half of those games. I mean, I've probably been put on the ground way less times than a lot of other people. And then those guys make the plays for me. I mean, the running game has been great. We can sling it through the air with all those receivers. We got a lot of depth, which is probably one of our best aspects of the team is our depth. One guy goes down, the next guy steps up.
Hey, is it actually 0 sacks on the season?
No, not 0 sacks, but I was just saying very little.
No, because I was trying to keep up early. I know Crown Point got a couple, but after that, like in Arizona, like I was trying to keep up, and I thought that I only counted like 2 or 3, and that was up to like I don't know. I want to say like week 5 or something like that. So I was wondering like, are you even watching the uniform anymore? Or you just hand it back to the PQ guy, and you're like, hey, look, offensive linemen did their job. Like we're straight. I'll wear it when it comes back in rotation.
Yeah, they've been doing a great job. We have a tradition where O-line gets 0 sacks to get donuts on film on Saturday. So they've been getting a lot of donuts this season. So they've been doing a good job.
All right, man. Let's compartmentalize and have the next game and not look too far ahead we have a chance to win a championship. We have a chance to, do X, Y, Z.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we got to focus on the task at hand. We know what's at stake this week, a trip to ASU Stadium. So it really fires us up and makes us practice harder and be focused in practice. Really, we've been competing hard this week. But we got a good game plan, and we're confident that we can go out and do it.
What's the relationship with Ortiz like? That's my guy, man. I've been rocking with him for a minute now, and he's just been waiting for an opportunity like this where he has all the pieces that he wants on offense, executing the way that he wants. What's it been like for you working with Ortiz?
Oh yeah, it's been awesome. I love Ortiz. We've developed a really good relationship over the season. Obviously, it's my first year with him, so it's been nice getting to know him and kind of joking around with him at practice. He's been doing a great job. I mean, obviously, a lot of points per game. I'm not sure the number, but it's been really fun watching us grow and as an offense. And his play calls, I mean, he really dials it up.
Put that stuff in game, like how often do you check out the scoreboard and you're like, oh dang, that's us, the big score over there, that's us?
I mean, obviously, I think as long as we win by one or 100, I mean, that's really all that matters, especially in playoffs here. So we're just trying to get the job done every time.
All right, hey, just like I asked my man Andre, I got to know, what's the first thing that you're reaching for to put on your plate for Thanksgiving?
It's got to be either mac and cheese or Brussels sprouts.
And cheese. Who makes the mac and cheese first?
It is my mom usually.
Now is it? I don't know how much you know about cooking, but it's not out of the blue box, right? Like she makes it like homemade,
homemade
bag of shells with a roux and all that.
Yeah.
Can I
not
go over?
box, not some craft.
She makes the real stuff. All right. Hey, the Brussels sprouts. I gotta know about that though. Like, are you really trying to be like healthier like that? Make sure that you have all the right balance, or are you just eating it because your mom's making you eat it?
I mean, no, I really like them actually. They're just delicious, really.
Okay,
we got some bacon
like
on top, bacon wrapped Brussels
Oh,
sprouts.
making them unhealthy. Sheesh. All right. Not mad at that. Hey, obviously, no Thanksgiving is complete without some dessert. What is it with for dessert? What are you reaching for? Which pie? Which flavor? Or is it just something simple like ice cream?
It's usually some apple pie with some vanilla ice cream.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so you warm up the pie first, and then you put the ice cream on top.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I've seen some savages that will put the ice cream on top of the pie and put it in the microwave. So it's just like.
Oh no. Can't do that.
It's like those people that pour milk first before their cereal, So like,
some crazy people.
I don't deal with those type of monsters. What can we look forward to this week? What can we expect? What kind of game out of you can we expect this week? Is it going to be another traditional, 3-4 multi-touchdown? You're going to see ACP with 40-50 on the board.
I mean, yeah, obviously that's the goal. We're going to put it up as much as we can. It's going to be a tough task at hand. Snowflake's physical, they're fast, and they're coming with a chip on their shoulder, obviously. So it's gonna be a tough game. So I'm really excited to see what happens.
That mountain power is different. Look, you guys have been rolling. The offense has been absolutely special. What are you going to help me convince Coach Vaught to let you guys play in Flight Club this year?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, that would be fun. It'll be a fun experience.
All right, man. I'd love to see it. Hey, Ev, I really appreciate you hanging out. Seton Rivals podcast. I'm gonna catch up with my guy Brett real quick. Let my man's finish up this fade so that you can hand that fade out to Snowflake on Friday.
Of course. Thank you.
Stuff.
All right, take care.
Go. Yep. Mr. Chili, what's good, my man? Let me say, we got all thrown off track with the ACP boys, which is fantastic. We got some other schools to talk about, though. I
almost forgot. I was having such a good time talking with the fellas, and that was pretty cool. We might have to make this an annual Thanksgiving tradition since Coach Vaught really looks like he has this team like rolling like that. So he might be playing. He might be doing Thanksgiving practices for the next 10 years.
I'm totally game for that. No, that's good stuff. Yeah, am I switching seats? Yeah. Can we get hold on, Chill. Can we get somebody to take a picture of the four of us? Because I definitely want to. I'll sit in the chair and then you text that to me. Yeah. You know how the operation is.
Brett, one thing I do want to know is what is the location? What are the main roads?
Yes.
Exactly like where you at? Put it all out there. Name of the barbershop. Do they have Instagram, social media, whatever?
Yeah.
I'll let the
we can
cutter
let
do
Flavor
it
say.
if you want.
Yeah. So Mission Barbers is the barber shop. We have a product company called Mission Haircraft. But the barber shop is located on Gilbert and Germann on the southwest corner inside the Palette Collective. We do a lot of mission work in the community revolved around mental health, suicide prevention, and giving care to kids in foster homes. We volunteer our time, cut hair there, and then also give them grooming packages, like grooming kits and stuff.
Okay, we have that behind. Yeah, that's what we get. We doing one last tight squeeze, and then it's all back to business, Chili.
Just in case I'm in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Cool stuff. All righty, now we.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Can I sit here for another 20 minutes, or we got some about?
We'll
Y'all tell me where to go. I'll say, yep, not a problem. I said they so busy. It's crazy.
No, truth. Nothing wrong with that. Look, hey, a barber shop that's full is that's the best thing on the planet.
Just so you see, actually, you know what? Let me give a tour to everybody. Hold on, right quick. So this is one of the rooms right there. You can see that there's 2 people there. This is the room we just left that will be filled up in a second. And then last but not least, see, we even got the UPS man rocking with us. Yes. We got another full room. So yes, it's full stuff. It definitely is. But let me find this corner, and you and we gonna get back to business. And wow, my man, seems like there's another coaching change in the CUSD. It's official. Again. Bobby Newcombe steps down. Last year there were 2 openings. This year there's 2 openings. I don't know. It's crazy. I'll say this, the one thing even before we get into that, shout out them seniors for Casteel. I mean, I know you were big on Paul Palmer. I'm blessed to have gotten to see him play, Isaiah Linier. They went down with a fight. They did. They definitely did.
The whole situation's tough, man. And, I said it last week. I said it privately. I've said it publicly. One thing that I do want to make clear is I like Mr. Lushner, the new AD
Fred
over
Lushner.
there at Casteel. I really like him. I liked him Saguaro days over to Eastmark and then now to Casteel, and I think he's a great AD. I think that this situation was a little fumbled, if you will, though. And I don't know if that's just a him thing. I don't know really like who makes those calls in these situations.
Right.
And so, I don't want to just point the finger at one person, but I just feel like, for the kids and the consistency and things like that, like I just think that the situation was fumbled a little bit and could have been handled a little bit better, and maybe with a little bit more discretion. I think it was unfair to Coach Newcombe. And I think it was unfair to those kids. And I think, unfortunately, I think it was unfair to probably Mr. Lushner himself, because he was probably put in a situation that made for a tough decision. And he did the best that he could. I don't know all the truths about the story. I don't know everything that went on. All I know is the pieces that I've heard. Listen, sometimes, and me and you talked about this a little bit privately and a little bit last week, sometimes the parents just have to let the coaches coach.
Do their thing. That's right.
The profanity stuff and like the what's acceptable and not acceptable. Like some of the stuff is in the heat of the moment and trying to explain something. It's an emotion. It's almost like, similarly to like, when you stub your toe on the couch or something, you're like, damn, like you don't, what you mean to say is ow or whatever. Like, but I just hope the best for Coach Newcombe. I know that he wants to continue coaching and things like that, and he absolutely deserves to. One of the smartest humans on planet Earth, really one of the best coaches who I personally on this podcast have roasted him for losing a bunch of kids, transferring out and things like that, only to have to come back to say he got it right. He did it the right way. He did it his way. He found a way that he wanted to do this and build his program, and he did it. Now we have to move on with Casteel and a coach. I don't know who it is. I am highly curious if Coach Beeman puts his name in there. Maybe one of these veteran coaches, like maybe like a Coach Zellner, who's currently over there at Dobson. I just never know which one of these coaches might try to take advantage of this opportunity. It's such a great opportunity. They have the junior high,
right? Yeah, and I'm glad you
CUSD.
mentioned that point, Chili, because that's the one thing that I'm not sure if they have taken advantage of as much as we thought they would. That junior high school, that kind of built-in feeder program, if you will. You figure these kids get to Casteel at 7th grade, exposed to the program. That should be like, I don't want to say a giant because it's very hard to win anywhere, but I'm just surprised that they have not seemingly taken advantage of that to build a little bit more robust program, if that's the best case.
Well, it's crazy because like what's happened over the past few years is actually Coach Lanza, before he moved to Dobson himself and took over as OC at Dobson, he was at Casteel using that junior high as somewhat of a feeder for his freshman team, where he was also the OC, and then he moved up to varsity, helping as an offensive analyst of sorts, and help working closely with I think it was tight ends at the time. But he really took advantage of that junior high to make the Casteel freshman team about this close. Some people will say like this close from beating like the Chandlers and being the cream of the crop in the Premier Region, but he was competing with everybody. His teams had beat Hamilton. His teams had competed with like the Bashas. His team, they lost to Chandler big on freshmen a couple times, but he had his team on the cusp, and I just think that somebody does have to take advantage of that situation. I'm highly curious, who the next coach is over there, and I know that Coach Luschner is going to do a great job and get a great hire, just like he did over at Eastmark when he brought Dixon in.
Very true, very true. So yes, we will. We'll keep everybody posted, and as we slide on, another talented coach, but he's still there, Joseph Ortiz. Perry Pumas, their season comes to an end at the 6A quarterfinal round as well. They lost to the Brophy Broncos. They lost a little bit worse, so to speak, than they did in round one. This time it was 31-13. With all that being said, though, what a marvelous season for the Perry Pumas. I mean, we've seen the emergence of their quarterback. We've seen some guys who know how to play two-way. Hey, happy holidays, guys. Have a great practice. We will see you soon. Thank you. The ACP guys, they are technically checking out, getting ready for practice. This Perry Pumas team, the program is in really good hands. Matter of fact, they're in great hands, Chili. I think you'd probably agree with that. They went down swinging, and that's all we can say.
No, for sure. Coach Ortiz, like all of us, the podcast has been a huge fan of his hiring, coming into Perry, which, there was a lot of tough relationships between this podcast and Perry for a little while. So, having Coach Ortiz come in, smooth things over and play middleman and stuff, like he did a great job with that. And then, this year we knew that there was going to be some struggles. He was trying to implement a whole bunch of young guys, a bunch of 27s, guys like not just Cale Snyder, but Talon Frazier, and trying to take advantage of his athletic ability, using him. I love him on offense, but he plays defense too. So let's not forget that. Guys like Amos Augustine, making sure that
he's a 28.
Yeah, like making sure that he could be implemented and brought in early, especially when he had such a deep receiving core with LJ Walker, Hayden Moon, who's my guy, Peyton Greco, playing athletically at
number 9,
getting some receiver reps. They've had a bunch of guys, so it's just Nate Wheeler, it's just they're building something over there. I trust Coach Ortiz. He did this over at Cactus. He brought in a big class. I believe it was the 23 class
with Will Galvan.
And they made it to the open. 4A Cactus made it to the open, lost to Saguaro, but they made it to the open, which a lot of people think is a big deal, and I agree. So I trust what Ortiz is doing. Preseason had this team talking about, could they get an open berth? Could they be at the top of 6A? Could they make a run? Look, man, they lost a couple games to the number 1 seed, to one of the best teams in the state. Brophy is absolutely amazing, thick in the trenches. all about that, trench warfare. So,
Yeah.
this is a learning experience. And now Perry has seen it. Ortiz will be ready and have his guys ready to go next year.
Absolutely. No, I agree. Thank you, Coach Ortiz, for letting us into your program. The Hamilton Huskies, they defeated the Marana Tigers 31-22. And Chile, obviously, this was a game that went back and forth between not only the people on the field, but the people who talk about the games. Obviously, it was interesting. I mean, I feel the best team won. I mean, Marana put up a whale of a fight. I mean, they were 10-0 for a reason. Very respectful team, very solid. I'd had the opportunity to talk to Coach Stewart a couple of times over the course of the year. In the end, Hamilton moves on, and Jacob Brown busting for 205 is nice.
And he's a stud. I've been talking about that for a long time. Like, they have to get him going, and they have to get him going early if they want to be successful. That offense really should run through him. I believe that. I listen. I love Coach Mazzone, and I know everybody thinks pass first when they hear his name, but Jacob Brown is just one of those special backs that I think deserves every opportunity to try to carry the offense. Sometimes you have those. And Rich Lucero is absolutely an amazing quarterback that's had a fantastic year. Look, what Marana, whether 1, 4, 8, by the time you get to the Open, I think it is what it is. It sucks that, maybe Hamilton had to travel, but I don't think Hamilton's really complaining right now. They just wanted an opportunity to compete in that thing. That was the most important thing, I think. So, for the kids over there at Marana and for the community over there, they thought that this was the biggest thing that had ever happened to their program. So that's huge. Also, a couple of weeks ago, me, you, Ralph, we were on here talking, and Cody Cameron actually asked that could this Marana team compete? And I said that it would be a 10-point game with any of these teams, minus Basha. And sure enough, it fell right into that area. Look, man, you guys picked it right, and you guys thought that Hamilton would win. I wasn't sure. I actually was not sure. Love Coach Dixon, love the program, but I thought that it would be close, and I felt like it was. Marana had them on the ropes, and the Huskies got out with a victory. Right now, at this point in the season, that's the most important thing. That's the most important thing, getting out with a victory, whether, like Evan said, whether it's by 1 or 40.
Right. Now we talk about this Hamilton Huskies team. They're playing the Liberty Lions, the defending state champions, playing at Mountain Point, a little bit closer to the Chandler area than Peoria. Now, I'll say that I'm surprised that the game is at Mountain Point. In talking with Coach Colin Thomas yesterday, he was puzzled that the game was not necessarily on the west side. Regardless of location, Chile, break it down a little bit for me.
Man, Liberty is I really feel like is one of the top 3 teams in the state. Me and Ralph had them going back 1 and 2 early in the season. After the California games, we settled on Basha being number 1. Liberty's fantastic. Up front in the trenches on defense, absolutely nasty. Past St. John is an absolute monster. Caden Branson, one of my favorite defensive linemen in the state. You flip around and talk about their offensive line, absolute mammoths that can clear the way and protect Hayden Fletcher. If you can't get through that offensive line, it's going to be a long night for Hamilton. But Hamilton's got dudes.
Yes,
Hamilton's
they do.
got dudes. And Jacob Brown, if Jacob Brown can help control that clock, I think that this game could go their way. But Brett, I'm more curious about your thoughts on this. And will the proximity to Mountain Point play any sort of advantage with all the family in town and things like that? Like less people having to travel a shorter or more people having to travel a shorter distance for you versus, like coming from Liberty and it's like what, like about like 45, 50 minutes or something like that?
Actually, what's funny is I MapQuested right after I got off the phone with Coach Thomas the other day. 56 minutes from Liberty High School to Mountain Point, 24 minutes from Hamilton to Mountain Point. From a crowd standpoint, it certainly benefits Hamilton. I mean, we know that Liberty travels well. I think the proximity definitely will encourage a few more CUSD faithful, a few more Hamilton people to come out to the game. Ultimately, the game is played on the gridiron. You mentioned a guy, Jacob Brown. I think he's the factor in this one. I don't want to put a number on it that if he gets this amount of yards, Hamilton wins. If he doesn't, Liberty wins. But his ability to carry 20-plus times in a game, possibly break that 100 yards, 125 maybe. That chews up some clock. Both senior quarterbacks, Hayden Fletcher and Richland Searle, they've got weapons. This is a toss-up, man. This is a really good one. I don't know which way to go. I mean, it's I'm broadcasting the game, so I got to be.
Okay.
I am. I do have the call of the game, so it's. I'm looking forward to it, and I've never done a Hamilton game play-by-play before, which is kind of weird. But very odd.
The powers that be are finally doing things right. Okay. I know you can't say that because you work for the powers that be, but I can say that because I don't. So
absolutely. No,
good for you.
I think this will be a good one. This will be a really good game, and I'm going to say may the best team win. It really is.
Hey, Brett, let me ask you. But for you already said for Hamilton to compete and possibly steal the victory, you have to see Jacob carry the ball around 20 times, possibly around 100, 125 yards. Now, for Liberty, what do they need? What do they need to do to be successful versus Hamilton?
Them being physical. It's hard to wear down a Hamilton team, but Liberty has done that for years now. Not necessarily against Hamilton, but that's their game. The games are won in the fourth quarter, and they've got the receiver whose name I've been circling. But thank you. I just think he's a factor. If you see a Liberty receiver go nuts, that means things probably go the Lions' way. I mean, Colin Thomas knows here's the big thing. He's been in these games before. They've had a lot of near misses. They finally, of course, broke through last year. Dixon is no novice to football, but for every win that we move ahead, Hamilton and Dixon enter uncharted territory under Dixon. So it's going to be it's a chess match. It'll be a chess match. It'll be I think it'll be exciting. It's going to be a good one. It really will be.
I really got to show Dixon some love because I feel like he's a defensive guy, and he's predominantly played the better part of this season without one of his top defenders in Dejon Hinton.
Correct.
And in the process of trying to go win a championship, Dejon Hinton, the super talented cover corner, in the process of trying to get to ASU to win a championship, Dixon is having to go through some of the best wide receivers in the state. Already started off with Desmond Roebuck, the fantastic wide receiver, the Washington commit over at Marana. Now he's going to have to deal with the young Braxton Wynn, who's one of the top receivers in the 27 class in the state of Arizona. Next, he's going to have to either deal with Bo Sparks at ALA Queen Creek or Gio Richardson, the Arizona commit. So to be able to go through all, look, and I know it's just one player on the defense and you find guys next man up and all that, but we're talking about Dejon Hinton, who's arguably a 4-star caliber kid and also an Arizona commit, a power 4 guy. So to be able to rebound and move forward and go 9-1, win versus Marana, hostile territory, because Brett, we weren't there, but having been at the Higley game and small town football, which Marana is a small town, dude, it was crazy. It was varsity blues out there. It was insane Friday night lights. So to be able to go in there, deal with the hostility of the crowd, the polite hostility, because I heard they're really nice over there, and to get the dub and to do it without one of your superstar players on defense,
correct,
I think is absolutely incredible.
It's gonna be a really good one. I'm looking forward to this. I'm gonna step over to their morning practice tomorrow at Hamilton. Enjoy just kind of taking it all in with really some alums, some family, friends. I mean, they have everybody's invited, so no, it'll be a good one. This will be a really good semifinal, and the other semifinal, Basha and ALA Queen Creek. What a year, what a program it's been for ALA Queen Creek over the years. I mean, this is the little engine that could. I mean, there's been no stopping them for a very long time. I mean, it's one of those things where this Basha Bears team that we've said is essentially the best team in the state should be a good matchup. I'd say this. I wish this game was not at Dobson High School. I wish it was at Perry. I think you would have a lot more, or Casteel. These two schools are truly down the block from me. They're down the block from each other.
Oh, yeah.
Why move it from a section of town to another section of town where kids can't ride their bikes over. I just think this would be a great neighborhood battle. It's being moved to Dobson, but that's fine.
They felt like this was new Arizona high school football royalty, and they wanted it at the Palace. Listen, ALA Queen Creek's absolutely fantastic. I got to watch them close out Desert Mountain. It was a close game, though. It was a close game. A little bit of controversy, but Coach Hall, I talked to him post game, and he told me that was one of the most disciplined, well-coached teams that they played against this year. And they were in that super tough East Valley region. So
yes, they were.
I think that says a lot. Basha's gonna have their work cut out for them. This ALA Queen Creek team is not the same ALA Queen Creek team that has taken a pounding in open play the past few years, including one game against Basha. So this ALA Queen Creek team is going to be very, very different, very, very solid in the trenches. These guys are absolute monsters themselves, having taken the big man title from Basha at back-to-back flight clubs, and I know Basha takes that a little bit personally. They might not care, but I know like guys like Sam Garcia and Coach Kelly care. So, but that's just one of the little things.
Because I was going to say, I feel this ALA Queen Creek team is built similar to those tough Highland teams from a few years ago, when after you've played them, you played them. And that's what Basha has not necessarily faced a lot this year. I think Basha probably has a little bit too much speed all over the place, and they've obviously got the strength interior as well. But this is going to be a physical game. It's perhaps the most physical that Basha has played this year.
This question a lot of us ask ourselves, similarly to when Jacob Conover left Chandler, obviously, graduating and stuff like that, finished his career there. How do you replace Jacob Conover, Mikey Keene? You just be yourself. How do you replace Demond Williams? Brody Beers. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. You don't have to be this dual threat, super escapable guy that can break plays, with his legs. Just be yourself. Make it rain out there. And Brody's done that better than almost everybody. I think better than almost everybody.
He really has.
And he they played the tough Mission Viejo game. I hope they remember that. I hope they remember how close that game was and the loss that they took in California, because they're gonna need to go back to that type of stuff, I think, in order to get through these next two games if they want to hold up that open division championship. I'm super impressed with the job that McDonald has done over there. Fine-tuning this coaching staff with Coach Jones on defense, Coach Felker on offense, and just managing the team, being able to be a CEO of the Basha Bears, buy stock now because it's still going up. The team that they beat from Nebraska just won their state championship. So look, this is a champion of champions, and I just cannot wait. I just cannot wait to see what the result of this game is, because it's going to be an absolute dogfight. I'm telling you right now, what Coach Hall is cooking up over there with the two running backs, Brandon Brown, Nesbitt, the offensive line filled with dudes, Talon Roy on defense, Brody Michael, like those guys, and those guys are relentless. They're relentless, and they want to hit to hurt. Like they're not malicious, but they want to hit to hurt. So if they hit you, you feel it.
I'll say this, yes, while this is a Seton Rivals podcast, there's something about that ALA Queen Creek team that it draws you in. That from the coaching staff to the players, they're very welcoming. I'll say this is a game that we don't want to see either team lose. And as we know, there are no losers. It's just that there's only going to be one winner. Of course, yes, this is Seton, so ultimately the Basha Bears is kind of what the makeup is, but I have so much respect for this Patriots team, and have over the years, that to see one of them not advance to Sun Devil Stadium, which is what I'm going to call it. We know it's Mountain America Stadium, but you get the idea. This is it's going to be good stuff. It's going to be a great Final Four. Saturday's opens are going to be terrific. Friday night's games, obviously, we just talked to the ACP Knights. They're hosting the game down the block. I won't get to see that. I'll be calling the ALA Gilbert North Cactus game a few miles from here. So it's going to be a whale of a Friday night and a Saturday. That's for sure, Chili.
real quick, we talked about Basha, some of the things that they need to do to win and stuff like that. But ALA Queen Creek, Brett, like what are some things that you think that they're going to have to do to be successful and to make their way to Sun Devil Stadium, Frank Cush Field?
Control the clock. I think they've got to really keep Veers and Richardson, that combo, to a minimum. I'll say this. I think if Brody and Gio connect for pay dirt more than once, that means the Bears have won this game. If not,
Okay.
that means, hey, you know what? Noah Roberts had to work a little bit. Gaines had to work a little bit, which means that the trenches were back and forth. And we know that ALA Queen Creek is about the trenches. So, yeah, I'd say if Veers has a very good passing game, that means it was too much speed for Basha.
Yeah, listen, I've talked to a couple of media folks that would like to remain nameless right now, but they got LA Queen Creek winning this game. I really think that Bobby Newcombe is a guy that we got to watch. He has to really do his thing. I think that if he can get, 2 or 3 sacks, 2.5, 3 sacks, I think that Basha is going to win. I think that they're going to be successful. I think that, guys, Trey Knox is finally healthy. They got to find somebody. They have to find somebody, Caleb Garcia, whoever, that can help neutralize Bo Sparks, because that's a big play waiting to happen. He made the big controversial one at the end of the Desert Mountain game, but he's just been big plays his whole time at ALA Queen Creek. If somebody doesn't neutralize that, then I think that that's going to be a big problem for Basha. And Basha has familiarity because they dealt with one of the best receivers that I've seen in the country, Van Spafford, in that Mission Viejo game, dealing with all the big plays that he made. He's committed to Alabama, so they know what that type of player looks like and can do. I think that Bo Sparks is incredibly talented. So as long as they can keep him in check and make sure that he doesn't get loose, then it's just up to Dantzler and the boys up front to make sure that that Brown and Nesbitt are kept in check also.
Because we know Max Hall will cook up something.
For sure. Facts. Thanksgiving season, you know the deal.
Absolutely. Chili, my man, as always, great talking to you. It was, yes, a very impromptu show from a location here on the corner of, where am I? Gilbert Road.
Gilbert and Germain. He said Gilbert and Germain.
Yes, absolutely. Good stuff. Chili, we will see you in the next few days that one of these games will pop up. But in the interim, enjoy your meals, enjoy the games, and we'll talk to you soon, my man. Be well.